everybody, to Tuning Fork. It's a show about music and the Pitchfork Media Hype Machine. I'm David.
My name is Matt, and breaking news: Wayne Coyne arrested.
Oh no!
Wayne Coyne arrested? For what reason?
Just for being a creepy guy.
Just in general, being the worst guy on the planet. Hi,
we're joined by Meys today.
Hi, I'm Meys. I didn't know I couldn't bring this grenade full of confetti to the airport.
Meys is the only person here who has touched butts directly with Wayne Coyne.
Oh my God.
That's true.
I forgot all about that.
Luckily, the internet never forgets.
The TSA just doesn't have a sense of humor about the Flaming Lips anymore.
Yeah, so I was a big Flaming Lips fan in like the late 2000s, early 2010s. Y'all remember?
Oh yeah.
And then Wayne Coyne did a lot of things, and I swore them off forever. And now I'm almost 30, and I sit in my car on the way home from work, and I listen to Clouds Taste Metallic, and I'm like, I remember when I didn't have obligations.
We all have that band. I think for me, it's probably Animal Collective that brings that out still.
I listened to Centipede Hurts, and I remember having obligations.
And you shoot the gun.
And then you shoot the gun that you got.
Yeah.
So the Flaming Lips we've never covered before. Like we've made allusions to Wayne Coyne previously, but they started in the 80s. They've been around for quite a while. Didn't really have a commercial breakthrough besides like a one-off hit called She Don't Use Jelly in 1993. And then around the late 90s, early 2000s, they had the Soft Bulletin and Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots, which were kind of their mainstream success moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those albums both did very well.
Yeah. Like astoundingly well.
Yeah,
and for the Soft Bulletin, we get that large Pitchfork discrepancy as we'll get to it, but the album we're covering today got 0. The Soft Bulletin got 10 on its initial release. So that was the full gamut in 2 consecutive releases, which I think is the only band we're covering with that.
Both of those reviews were written by the same Pitchfork writer.
Oh, I love that. I didn't realize that.
Yep, Jason Josephs.
What was that guy doing with his life? They're like, I think the Zaireeka review, he didn't really engage with the work at all.
No,
yeah, he just straight up does not.
The most he actually says about it is that he attempted to listen to it one CD at a time on his broken CD player and doesn't really comment about anything about it at all.
Yeah, Pitchfork reviewers just like posted anything in the late 90s.
They'd be posting.
It really was just posting.
Yeah.
They were truly just like whatever. Like between that and that one Ryan Schreiber review that he posted.
Oh, the John Coltrane one?
Yeah, the Coltrane one.
Of course you meant the Coltrane one.
That's the one every time anybody ever mentions Ryan Schreiber reviewing anything. It's just that one.
Pitchfork in the 90s really was the ultimate blogging begins.
Oh man, I miss
real tub hours.
Yeah.
It was shit posting.
Mm-hmm. It was.
Did you know that
it was night blogging?
Speaking of shit posting, apparently John Mayer called his new album shit posting on Pitchfork.
I don't like
All
it.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think you're allowed to do that, John.
I was taken aback by that.
I think when you have a certain audience, it's just not shit posting anymore. It's content.
It's just posting.
Shit posting and content are completely different categories.
Content.
Content.
We also have for Pitchfork their time capsule series that they did around their 15th anniversary, and Mark Richardson did a review that was like a counter to the original review.
Yeah,
that he wrote for the site. And when you have is it Jason Josephs?
Yeah.
Jason Joseph's not taking the album seriously at all. we have the complete opposite extreme, where Mark Richardson takes it way too seriously.
Mark Richardson, he's in addition to doing a bunch of like stuff for Pitchfork, he's also like a big Flaming Lips guy. He was in the community for the longest time.
Yeah.
And I mean, I respect the work he does, but I think he takes the Flaming Lips way too seriously.
Yeah. For me, when I started to really kind of rethink, not really the Flaming Lips, but more just Wayne Coyne as a person in general, I think the first thing that kind of made me give the side eye was the weed flavored gummy skull with a USB stick inside of it.
Yeah.
Like that I could see their, like, they know, like, their audience will buy weird shit, but it just kind of seemed like something where they were trying to be, like, controversial, and then they did the blood-filled record.
I had every single one of those 2011 gummy records except for the skull and the 24-hour song.
Yeah.
It was...
The 24-hour song is a bit much.
The thing is, it's a bop, mostly.
Yeah. I just don't have the time.
Yeah.
And then Wayne, like, started hanging out with Miley Cyrus a little bit too much. And
also, fucking Amanda Palmer.
It was very uncomfortable to witness.
Yeah.
And, like, the whole thing where he, like mistreated Erykah Badu with that video, where, like, the uncensored cut or unedited cut was released to the internet without her permission. There was the whole thing where he probably, there's, like, conflicting reports on it, but he fired Cliff Skurlock for saying one of his friends was racist.
Yeah, that did happen. That is exactly what happened. And then they leaked all the text messages, and Wayne was a huge dick.
Right, because, like, Cliff was always like really big on, like, indigenous rights, right? That was that was what the dust up was largely about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, because, like, they're from Oklahoma, which, like, of all states for that to be relevant, it's one of the big ones.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't even remember what the dust up was about. I think it was specifically like the governor was being a racist piece of shit, and Wayne was, like, friends with them.
So here's
and, like,
the story.
defending them, right?
Here's what happened. Okay, the governor's daughter. It was 2014, so we were still kind of in the vestiges of people wearing headdresses for whatever. And the governor's daughter was in a band where they just did that. They thought they were cool by doing that. And Wayne was, like, partying with them and enjoying and posting it on Instagram and shit. And Cliff was like, hey, that's fucked up. And Wayne was like, no, it's not. And then he made fun of them on Instagram in a photo where they all wore headdresses.
Yeah.
And
Right.
And there was a whole big dust up over that between him and Cliff. Cliff got thrown out. And then Cliff still, after the fact, went on record with Pitchfork, I think, and was like, yeah, Wayne's not racist, it's his friends. But still.
Yeah, like, I mean, at some point, it's like, what kind of company are you keeping, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's this whole thing with, like, certain psychedelic musicians, like, getting a little bit... feeling a little bit too comfortable, like, trying to be a part of the culture that they're appropriating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, and let's not forget when he, like, randomly divorced his wife and started dating, like, a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
They've got a kid now, by the way. This part will probably be cut out.
I had to double check because I wasn't sure of, like, the band composition timeline, but there was... Stephen Draws was still on drums for Zaireeka.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Zaireeka came out right before the Soft Bulletin came out. So it came out in 97, and you need 4 CD players to play it, as it was originally released.
We never really said why it got a 0, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got people assuming it was just like a 1-disc release, it was really bad, but no.
Yeah, so it requires 4 CD players or, 4 devices with speakers to listen to. And that was the entire reason it got a 0, was just because the Pitchfork writer didn't currently have a way to listen to it properly and didn't try. So
you would think the Pitchfork offices in 1997 would have 4 CD players somewhere. right?
I think so. I'd also think like in 1997, it probably wasn't a huge ask to find 4 friends that have a boombox. So really, Jason is just putting himself out there as a guy who has no friends.
Yeah,
exactly.
The thing he says is that the reason that it doesn't make sense is because, quote, Flaming Lips fans spend all their money on inhalants and detox and can't afford 4 CD players.
We love being edgy, don't we?
We do love being edgy. And I don't think the idea was for one person to afford 4 CD players themselves. It's supposed to be like a social thing.
It came from the parking lot experiments the Flaming Lips did in like, was it like 1996 after Ronald Jones left because Drowse was doing too much heroin. In 96 or so, they were like, oh, we don't have a guitarist. Let's just record 40 tapes and have 40 cars play the shit at the same time. And then...
Yeah, sure, why not?
That's where it came from. Here's the thing. That sounds fun. Like, as a concert idea, that is fun.
That's a totally respectable way to do things.
Yeah, in the 90s, however, like, I don't know about, like, emissions at the time, though. So, like, doing that in, like, a parking garage, I don't know if you'd, like, die of inhaling something, but it's fine.
No, it seems fine.
Yeah. So, Meys, I think out of the 3 of us, you're the only person who has actually listened to this album as intended.
Yes. The year was 2007. I was, like, what? Like, 14 years old? How old am I? Hold on. Yeah, I was 14 years old. And I had just really gotten into the Flaming Lips, and I had no friends because I was the kind of person who had gotten into the Flaming Lips at 14. So I had an old Windows Vista laptop. I had a boombox from the 90s that my parents still had. I had an Xbox 360. And,
yes.
And I had I think it was a Discman or something.
Okay,
I did all 4 at the same time by myself. I tried to get my sibling Aldo to help me, but they said, they were like 8 at the time. They didn't understand what the fuck I was doing. They were like, no, that sounds weird. You're weird. And so I had to do it all on my own. And
legit.
They're not wrong.
Yeah, it was a lot of like playing and pausing, but it was a really, really nice experience. It was like, it made sense because sounds were coming from all over the place.
Yeah.
And something, I have the liner notes here next to me, basically talking about how CDs naturally will fall in and out of sync with each other. Like, if you play 2 of the same track at the same time on a CD player, it's going to eventually fall out of sync. Maybe like, 2-3 minutes out. And that was the experience. Like, the songs would transform as you listened to them.
Yeah, that's like... That's something that was a little lost on me, since I only listened, of course, to the down-mixed version. What was the name of it?
That's just the mix down.
Right, no, but like it had like a name in the
some dude's name, I think, right?
It's literally just some dude's name.
Yeah,
Sam Bell's 4-disc mix.
Yeah.
So, but you could really tell, it's like, it very much felt like when you watch a movie that was very obviously made for 3D, but not in 3D.
Yeah, like people kept reaching at the screen. But
exactly.
Like they just like kind of get to the edge there and you don't really feel the 3D effect. Yeah.
Yeah, like Sylvester Stallone's head was really big when I was watching Spy Kids 3D and 2D. But it didn't pop out of the screen at me huge.
No.
Spy Kids 3D was the last 3D movie I remember seeing that still used the red and blue stereoscopic glasses.
Same here, yeah.
I miss them.
Before they switched to the like polarized ones.
They gave you the cool like red and blue 3D. They had like a Spy Kids design, didn't they?
They did, yeah. It was like spy gear. It looked all futuristic and shit.
Yeah. I remember I went to go see that at the movies in 3D, and then we went to McDonald's next door, and then I threw up. That's why I remember it.
Yeah.
That's a classic experience. But yeah, no, I did notice that a lot throughout the album, which, like, it wasn't, like, disorienting, because I think the person who did Sam Bell, who did the down mix, did, like, a really good job keeping it in sync. But it doesn't mean I kind of missed a fundamental part of the experience, which I'm fine with. I'm fine being the exact midpoint between the 2 Pitchfork writers on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just being right in the middle. I was listening to it on my Bluetooth headphones while on a walk, which is like, on a walk is the last way you're supposed to be able to experience this album.
There is...
You just have four friends surrounding you.
Yeah. Four guys with boomboxes on their shoulders pointed towards you.
That's a family. That can be a family.
A family could just be 4 boomboxes and no kids.
There are official down mixes of most of the songs, except for, what's the name of that fucking song? It is The Train Runs Over the Camel But Is Derailed by the Gnat. And March of the Rotten Vegetables, which are the 2 songs that benefit actually the most from the 4-disc format. And the actual, like, official down mixes are extended. They have different lyrics. They have, like, new verses. It's really interesting to see how they kind of thought that they were going to turn these into 1-disc songs, and then instead they did the soft bulletin, and we're all better for it.
Yeah. Were the lyrics of Machine in India good in that version?
No. It's actually 4 minutes instead of 10 minutes, so maybe it's a little bit more tolerable, but it's, like, no different.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're already starting to talk about the tracks. We may as well get going. So the first track is, okay, I'll admit that I really don't understand.
Which is what everybody says when they listen to a mixdown for the first time.
They really got meta with that one.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
so
also the entirety of what the lyrics are.
Yeah. With this one, I could really like the way that they produced the recording was like intentionally amateurish. Like, it's not even just that it was like mixed to clip, basically. Like everything was really blown out, but it really just sounded like they were playing like the most basic stuff just to get the feel of the space.
Yeah,
he wasn't really doing much here, right?
No, it's actually based off that one piano chord.
Right. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm glad you could elucidate that, because like I'm just like trying to grab my bullshit baby music terms and be like, what are they doing here? Oh, music? Is it coming from the green or from the black?
I love that. The drums have like, the drums are like not recorded super clearly. It's kind of distant, but it also has a big gated reverb effect on it. So they sound both big and far away.
So the CD layout for this one, if you can imagine it, is CD number 3 is the guitar and the singing, which is the yeah. The
mixdown keeps that in the center channel largely.
Exactly. Yes, the drums and bass are on CD number 1. So you get that coming out of entirely one other area, and CDs number 2 and number 4 have the vocal melodies, which is the which I guess kind of if you hear it described that way, you can kind of sort of get the stereo picture of what's going on.
Yeah, for sure.
And that is, I suppose it's like a demo of the whole, like, 4-disc. It's like a proof of concept. You're right.
Yeah, that's exactly that's
like
how
they
I would
recorded
describe
this one first. Yeah.
Yeah, they were just like, okay, fine, let's like.
Are we physically capable of doing this?
I actually,
I mean, knowing as much as knowing like as little as I do about like the actual studio recording process, like it could just be a lot. It just seems like you could just record an album and then release it like this.
It does kind of seem that way.
If you're doing because unless you're like a real like studio band, like one that the kind of people that get Steve Albini to do their recording because they're just like, make us sound like we sound live.
Yeah.
And then they mic up their full set and just do everything. But like a lot of people will just record, like I'll record the guitar part and then I'll record the drum part and then I'll record the vocals. Especially like bands like you get bands like Beirut and stuff where it's just like one guy who plays 800 instruments.
Exactly. Like you could easily, well, not easily, because you might have to like account for sync, but not really these days with like MP3s. But you could very easily like portion out parts of a song and make it into a 4-disc thing these days. Maybe,
well, yeah, especially if if you release the stems for your music, someone could just make. I mean, people do just make like 5.1 Dolby versions of albums. Like there's official ones, but sometimes people just make them out of stems.
Yeah,
I mean, there's 5.1 Dolby versions of like 8 Flaming Lips albums, isn't there? I feel like that's
3.
a thing that they did. Yeah,
we call it.
As far as working on an album like a small piece at a time and passing it back and forth, like people have been doing that like even non-digitally for a while. Like we talked about previously how like Elephant Six bands would do that, and like Portishead famously never actually gets together and records their albums. They do everything remotely.
Mm-hmm. And then like the Postal Service was done like all over email.
Yeah.
Well, wait, weren't they called the Postal Service because it was Postal Service? They like sent it via.
I don't know, maybe.
So here's one for Matt. Like, I'm not Canadian, but if they were called Canada Post, it would have taken much longer for the album to come out, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's one.
I respect the work. I respect the workers of our National Postal Service, but I do not respect their administration.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, let's move on to Riding to Work in the year 2025. You're invisible now.
So the "you're" in the title is supposed to be that way.
It apparently is. It's the wrong "you're." It should have been Y. It should have just been YR invisible now.
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. It should have been YR
to make it punk.
We are YR. We are YR supporters on this podcast.
100%.
100%.
We love YR. But yeah, I think this for me at least might be the strongest song on the record. Like, it's the one that I see that could be the most. It could have been on the Soft Bulletin if they really wanted it to be.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, I could see that. Well, yeah. So this song was later downmixed to stereo as a B-side of "Waiting for a Superman" single in 1999. So that tracks.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And they put it on a greatest hits compilation, which also tracks.
I would say that's one of the best Flaming Lips songs. Yeah.
It's kind of cliche to say it, but like there's definitely a lot of Beatles influence here, like especially with the piano chords that are on 1 and 3. Like that's kind of a Beatles trademark, especially like how they were in the late 60s.
The thing about it is like it very much does feel like when all the bands in the 60s discovered stereo panning at the same time.
They didn't just discover stereo panning, they discovered 100% stereo panning.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
I don't know if you remember those early Beatles albums with stereo, but they're very Ringo is entirely in your right ear and it hurts.
It sucks ass. I mean, because none of them were really designed for like headphones as much as having two speakers.
Right.
But yeah, this song is it's basically, I'm gonna read like part of the liner notes here, mostly just because this song is about a kind of comfortable paranoia that I feel like everybody has a certain amount of. No, the character in the song imagines that he's a secret agent on his way to work in the distant future. In his own mind, he's the most important man on the planet.
It's in 4 years.
Fuck. That was
Shit, fuck.
That was 30 years away, close to when this song was written.
Now it's 4.
Oh no.
It's less than 4.
Yep.
It's about a guy trying to like collapse into insanity, and the record kind of has this overarching like kind of theme. I forgot to read from the very beginning of the liner notes that were basically they're a little problematic.
Yeah.
Basically being like, one day while on tour in Europe, we were driving and listening to the news of the day on the radio. A newscaster with a British accent said, "Civilization as we know it is breaking down in Zaire, in Africa." And then Wayne goes ahead and says, since then, to me, the word Zaire has always been synonymous with trouble, which is beyond fucked up.
Fuck you, Wayne.
Jesus Christ.
Like it was a well-meaning guy from Oklahoma makes terrible gaff. And I think this kind of like bleeds into that sort of, where it's just like he's trying to get the feeling of like going nuts, which is just like, I don't know, like just write the song, man.
For the second half of the song, there's like there's a distorted like string line in the background. And what I wrote down was it's kind of like a detuned radio. And then, of course, I immediately said, Karma Police arrest Wayne Coyne. He's like a detuned radio.
Can you believe that this album and that album came out the same year?
It sure did, yeah.
God.
What a fucking
That's also
year.
this, and also more importantly, it's the same year that The Fury of the Aquabats by the Aquabats came out.
Oh yeah, the album of the year.
Album of the year, 1997.
Number one fuck anthem, 97.
Number one fuck anthem is the Mormon superhero album by the Aquabats.
Okay, computer, I'll admit I really don't understand.
Hey, also, this is
this does just seem like a really classic capitalist anxiety song. So this could have just been on OK Computer.
Yeah, like there's a lot of songs about that were written in 97. And this song kind of
they don't even know how much worse it's going to get.
Oh, they
have no fucking
unaware.
idea.
Oh my god, Amazon wasn't even like a thing.
They don't even have the gig economy yet.
They were like, "Oh, cell phones, like it's worse, as bad as it can get." No. Oh,
they thought that the Democrats still cared about labor.
Oh, this song also ends with like a weird religious thing, which is, I think, Wayne's hallmark.
Yeah,
like he loves to be like, "What's Christ?"
Yeah. The panoramic scene, the landscape's grand design, the moment overtakes your life. In the silver morning sun, the worst is magnified. It makes you see it makes you see the use of Christ.
Which I don't know what that means.
I think it's like when the worst is magnified, it makes you see the purpose of religion as like, you know, like the soothing balm, like the
right,
the thing you look to in the time of crisis. Which, like, that would make it, as for Wayne Coyne, one of his more reasonable random religious statements.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, I get it.
And not like, I'm gonna lick God's dick or something.
Yeah. I went to Jesus and told him to post hole.
Their new
we
album
post
has
hole here, sir.
That was more of a Neil Young voice.
It was
a little bit.
Their new album, which is, by the way, actually decent, has a song on it called "At the Movies on Quaaludes," and I can't remember really what the song sounds like, except for I just imagine him going, "I'm at the movies on Quaaludes."
That's kind of a theme of Flaming Lips song titles in the late period. Like, because they did that collab song with Lightning Bolt called "I'm Working at NASA on Acid."
That's true.
And it kind of whipped. I think the Lightning Bolt stuff was some of my favorite of the collab stuff.
Yeah.
It was pretty good,
and I think it's just because Lightning Bolt is fucking good.
I want to get high, but I don't want brain damage is really good.
But also unrelatable. Don't care if I destroy this meat sack. Fucking useless up there.
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go. I want it gone.
All right. Next, we've got 35,000 Feet of Despair.
It's fine.
The lyrics on this one sure suck.
Yeah, this is like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's a shame the pilot's gone insane. I'm just gonna keep doing my Neil Young impression because I can't summon Wayne voice right now.
Just
like a nice like textual suicide in the middle of your song. Thanks.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to hear any more songs about like a guy who's losing his mind. Like, I get it. Like, you were having like a big creative crisis in the late 90s, not 90s, God. So it's big. In the late 90s, you were having a crisis. Yeah, you were
British people be like the late 90s.
Like, I get it. You were having a crisis, but like, do we really need to hear about it? Like,
Well, it's so stupid because it's just like, the pilot's gone insane. He killed himself. That's the whole thing. He doesn't get into anything else. It's just like, isn't it fucked up that he killed himself?
it's the song equivalent of, like, if there were two guys on the moon and one killed the other with a rock, would that be fucked up or what?
If there were two guys on the moon and you could see the silhouette of the other guy killing the guy killing the other guy, would it be fucked up or what? Win coin.
Yeah.
Comma, arrested.
This was the first track on the album where I started to realize that even in the mix down, things were starting to get a little bit out of sync. And I think that's probably just how it was recorded.
Yes. Specifically the line where he goes, in the beam of the searchlight, that is never going to be in sync on all 4 discs, because that is just how it was. It's one of those, like Matt was saying, the 3D effects that don't really show through.
Yeah.
It's cool when they surround you, but not when they're coming out of one speaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, like, it kind of made me feel like it should be in, like, a movie soundtrack more than it should be on an album as a Flaming Lips song. Because it doesn't have a whole lot lyrics-wise, and there's, like, the kind of strings, the orchestral thing mixed with the, like, jazzy wah-wah guitar, which is, like, very Tarantino.
Who
is another man who should be arrested, by the way.
Yes, like, this album is full of men that should be arrested. He mentions the CD layout in the liner notes here, which is fine, I guess. The story is told from the perspective of a news guy reporting from the airport as the plane comes into land on CD number 1. CD number 2 is the pilot's still sane side as he walks down the aisle on the way to the bathroom. CD number 3 is the sound of the airport accepting a sad, heavy nighttime arrival. CD number 4 is the not sane side of the pilot, unconnected and eerie. Vocals are run through a series of effects. Sure. There's a whole... Okay, so after this, when they toured this album, they did the boombox experiments, which were 40 boomboxes in a rock venue, and they did, like, 3 songs that sounded like this, and they were way better. They were just not trying on this one.
This album is going to be the next one that the teens pick up on TikTok after The Caretaker, I think.
Fucking God.
They're gonna duet all 4 discs.
It is, like, truly astounding, the kind of stuff, like, the Spotify algorithm and TikTok teens have gotten super into. Like, there are so many fucking teenagers into Lemon Demon right now, it's insane.
What the hell?
Like, so many!
Wait, really?
Yeah, no, like a ton.
Absolutely.
I feel
Way more
like
than there ever were when we were
hunt
younger.
down the old fans and ask them questions about Lemon Demon.
they know Neil's still alive, right?
Oh, yeah. But
Yeah.
Neil's not going to answer their questions.
He's much less online
I did it
these
for a
days.
while.
He
is a child. He is a child, so, like...
Yeah. What the fuck? It's like the teens that share videos of, like, 90s teenagers being like, oh, I wish I was them.
Oh, yeah, like, I was born in the wrong generation. I wish I was there when the Ultimate Showdown came out.
One. I was there when the E-Bombs World song came out. No, you don't wish you were there.
No, you don't. Although there is something that is so, like, nostalgic about like rampant theft of independent musicians, like, property being something that people actually look down upon.
Yes.
As opposed to, like, the complete fucking free-for-all that is trying to do anything online and make money off of it now.
Right.
I say as, like, a relentless music pirate, I'm also one who buys a lot of music, so, you know.
Same. As somebody who wishes people would pay for my music, I also pirate so much shit. But, like, it's fine.
That's why you gotta upload your own stuff to Redacted so that it's all neutral leech and no one gains off of it.
I do, and nobody downloads it, and it gets deleted. Sad.
Oh. Rip in peace.
F.
All right, so now we really gotta
Do we
gotta
have
move
to do
on.
this one?
The next one is A Machine in India.
All that I think, all I've thought, and all I know, the Syrian missile guides itself into the vaginas.
so much wrong with it.
Why
Yeah,
is this song 10 fucking minutes long?
Yeah, there's that, and also it's just like I feel like it's part of that thing of the white psychedelic musicians having the obsession with India that's been a thing for the last 60 years.
Yeah. The Beatles really fucked shit up.
The Beatles really did fuck their shit up.
At
As
least
someone whose family is from India,
Yeah.
I do not have enough cultural cachet to make any further statements.
the thing is, like, at least the Beatles had enough, like, mental, like, wherewithal to be like, actually, what's going on here is a little fucked up. Let's go. And then they did songs that are like the whole shit was really fucked up. This has no such like reflection.
Oh yeah, no, Wayne Coyne
No.
has never at any point had any sense of self-reflection.
Like this is.
Nor would he ever have like an Indian person in the studio. Like the Beatles had Ravi Shankar over all the time.
Right.
For
They smoked weed with that guy constantly.
Yeah, like Wayne does not know a single Indian person.
Absolutely not.
So this song's about okay. So the concept of the song, says Wayne, is based around a conversation I had with Michelle, his ex-wife, about the other world she was in during her menstrual periods. It's a man trying to write a song about periods.
Man,
And-
it sure
Whoa,
is.
That makes it so much worse than just him having a weird vagina fixation in general, which he does.
It's
Yeah.
like Hideo Kojima level bad.
Oh yeah, remember when he would just like post pictures of his wife when he was inside her?
Yeah, like, and he would post pictures of his dick while peeing on Instagram.
Yeah.
His glittery
What?
dick.
That really describes Wayne Coyne, glittery dick.
Yeah.
The lyrics to this are really, really, really bad.
Yeah.
I'm going to India.
As soon as he starts singing about the Syrian missile,
Over again.
Yeah.
Like, I'm literally trying to quote the song, and I'm still turning into Neil Young impression. I don't know why this is happening.
so
I'm gonna just start saying "fuck Monsanto" into the mic. Really, really. I'm gonna go get my Pono,
fuck. Your little Toblerone.
my little
Yeah.
Toblerone.
Your flak Toblerone.
So this song is really bad musically and in lyrically and emotionally, but I think that they did a really nice thing here with in the 4-disc version, because eventually over time it is super lush on all discs. Like there is no shortage of things happening in this song. And once you
This
get
song would be great if he never sang.
exactly.
What's the thing that's like it's like almost like it sounds like kind of like a string sample that's in the
Yeah.
background that like it repeats but it's always like offbeat.
The
Yeah.
boom boom.
Yeah, the bweemp.
I
I like that.
He
It's
says
really pleasant.
It's a cartoon-sounding glip, or a machine sound, implying the clock-like mechanicalness of nature.
Sure, why the
Okay.
fuck not?
Sure, yeah, exactly.
I liked that sound. Thank you, Wayne, for that sound specifically, and almost nothing else here.
Nothing else should be happening here. But I think the most transcendent part of this album is when the bugs hit on all 4 discs. Like the bug sounds.
Yeah, that one's cool. That's cool.
That is where I'm
It was
like,
very
oh,
confusing
shit.
when I was walking because I thought I was getting attacked by locusts.
When it's all mixed together, it kind of the density of it kind of makes me think of like person pitch era Panda Bear.
Yes.
Oh, good shit.
It feels
Yeah.
like the middle of
God,
Bros
can you
when that
imagine
happens.
Can you imagine a 4-disc version of Person
God.
Pitch?
Oh,
That
hell
would
yeah.
sound fucking sick.
I'd lose my goddamn mind. I wish Noah would publish some stems now then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like out of any albums that I'd love to hear 4-disc versions of, let's just run this down because we're gonna end up saying it anyway. I would love to hear Person Pitch like that.
Broken Social Scene self-titled.
Broken Social Scene self-titled's a good one. Dan Deacon's Bromst
Yeah.
Fleetwood
with all
Mac's
those fucking
Tusk.
player pianos.
Tusk.
Tusk, yeah.
I would love to hear Since I Left You by the Avalanches like that.
Jesus, yeah.
Any version, and even the sample reduced versions would sound fucking sick.
Night Ripper.
Oh fuck yeah.
Echo Vessel's LA soundtrack.
Night Ripper Night Ripper.
Echo Vessel's LA soundtrack. Yeah.
Echo Vessel's LA soundtrack. The thing about Night Ripper is you could just assemble your own version. He was using like all public stems for that shit.
Yeah. You could just make that your. I would take any of the Mouth albums in 4 discs if Neil really wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all the Mouth albums are just built with Rock Band stems. Every single one of them.
To go back a couple episodes, maybe Yellow House.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be sick. That would just be lush. I think anything where you have a lot of vocal harmonies would be really good for it, because then you get to like, because in a normal album's down mix, like they are making all the decisions on like the volume, the proximity, the stereo pan of all their harmonies. When you're like playing on different stereos at different volumes from different parts of the room, you can really get a different sense of it. You can really feel the distance between the voices a lot better. Because I know some people who have like just the way they listen to music is like they'll have a really hard time picking people's voices out of a harmony.
Yeah.
I've gotten better at it, but I'm still not very good unless I'm very familiar with the voices.
Yes, precisely. You know what?
Like Steph can't even tell sometimes on the Sufjan Stevens tracks where he has other singers which one's him. That sometimes it blends that well for people.
I have the same problem. I can barely tell when Suf is singing on big harmonies.
Yeah, and I can usually pick him up pretty quick. What I've been trying to do is seeing if I could pick Annie Clark out on Illinois. I know she's in there.
She's there somewhere.
She's there, but
Daddy will be home.
Daddy will be home.
I was just thinking maybe the Age of Odds or the J. Paul Leak album.
Oh yeah.
God, I hope J. Paul releases a real album.
Yeah.
One can hope.
Like the edited version of the Leak was not good.
Yeah, no, I have both versions in my library for just completionist reasons. I really prefer the. I prefer the single version of BTSTU over either of the album versions.
Yes.
Because the single version was just a better mix. But I also like the spooky, scary Halloween mix that he put on his website.
Oh, yeah.
That one was cool. I wish it was longer than a minute.
So before we end up having to discuss the line, the Syrian missile guides itself into the vaginas, we
need to discuss it? You just said it, so there it is. That's a line that's in this one.
That is a line that's in this one. Let's move on. The train runs over the camel, but is derailed by the gnat.
This song has a nice history. It is actually it goes back to Transmissions from the Satellite Heart. It is
nice.
Okay.
It is the one song on here that was Ronald Jones era. It's called Steven's Weird Thing, and it's on one of the EPs.
That explains a lot, because this one sounds the most like a normal 90s alt rock track to me.
Yeah, this was there before all of this, and I think it's better here.
Yeah.
However, it's the only song where everything sounds like it's just kind of out of sync.
Yeah, for sure.
No matter what. What did y'all think?
The fact
I think
that
I kind of like this one.
I do like it. The fact that it sounds so much like it should be on the radio with the Goo Goo Dolls made me like imagine some morning DJ having to say the entire title of this song in DJ voice. Like,
really
that was
just
the Flaming
sounds like
Lips with the train runs over the camel but is derailed by the gnat.
It
Coming
sounds
up
like an
next,
old-timey
Lit.
parable.
Like
it
a
seems
what?
like it seems like it would have been like a Bible story.
Yeah.
my
Would
God.
have like some kind of like message to it.
Yes,
Which
precisely.
I think is probably what he was going for. Was making it sound like a they were going for is making it sound like kind of like a parable title. I just Googled it to try to see if it was like an old story, and then I found that someone did a Zaireeka listening party at a pub I used to go to in Hamilton, recorded the audio for it, and released it for free on Bandcamp. So I'm absolutely going to be listening to that later.
Fuck.
Nice.
Isn't that
Then
just
you get.
like...
Well, it's just like it's straight up just piracy, yes. But it's like then you also get the room sound of the pub
Yes,
Yeah.
you get
as part of the recording.
you get the maple leaf sound, which is just the Canadian like room tone.
Literally, like, my friend works at this pub, so I'm probably going to show it to her too.
Yeah.
So, according to the liner notes, basically it's supposed to be like a speech by some scientist / preacher, but when he steps up to the podium, which is just held by a thread, it eludes him and he's left there kind of talking in circles about an idea that he forever seems to be on the verge of knowing, which is kind of like, lyrically, it's like a lot of soft bulletin songs where it's just like, guy is sad.
Yeah, and in a meta sense, it kind of just describes Wayne Coyne's relationship with the world and reality.
Yeah, trying to be like a preacher kind of guy, but he just kind of ends up talking about whatever.
He just keeps talking about his glittery dick.
It's my dick. I can't even do Wayne Coyne voice anymore. I used to be able to really do it.
Well, we all know how good I am at it, so...
I think the most beautiful part of the song is the Stephen Drozd at the end going, la, 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 la.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good.
Yeah. We got some nanas, hey heys, la las, and doot doos.
Yeah, that's the four things a song needs to be successful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a Casio beat at the end, which I swear one of my keyboards makes this exact beat that we're hearing at the end.
Like, did Strong Bad make this song?
He may have, yeah.
In 2007, for the 10th anniversary of Zaireeka, the Flaming Lips released a 5th disc of the album, and I didn't include it in the mixdown that I gave y'all because I don't think that counts as a release.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it would just fall under, like, the same kind of category as, like, a remaster, remix version would, which, like... If we're covering the initial review, then we're covering the initial album, right?
Exactly.
That's just how it's got to be.
Exactly. But the 5th disc actually makes a lot of the songs fuller. Like, songs like Okay, I'll Admit, A Machine in India is actually greatly improved by the 5th disc.
Do they put stuff over him while he's singing? Because the kind of the thing that does that song a disservice is how little is in the mix when he's singing.
Exactly. Like, it actually puts stuff over what the fuck he's singing.
Just like delete. They actually just put the negatives of his vocals on that track, so it just cancels it out. I'm gonna make my own 5th disc, and it's just gonna have Wayne Coyne vocal negatives on it.
But
That's fine.
That'd be a really cool effect in, like, a stereo setting.
It would be
100%.
interesting,
Obviously, with a mix down, like, they're just gonna straight cancel out. But, like, if you did that in a room, that'd sound fucking sick.
There is, I think, like a remix of Tom's Diner by Suzanne Vega that is like a cancellation of like the first version of the MP3 and the highest quality like wave of it, and it leaves behind all the compression. It's so fucking cool.
Oh yeah, that sounds like something that Dan Deacon would make.
It does a little bit. Like the Call Me Maybe layered
Call Me
exponentially.
Maybe 147 times exponentially layered. Yeah,
Yeah, fucking rules.
Yeah.
Fucking sickest
really
song
good.
of all time.
Yeah, this song is pretty good. It has a history. It's not the song from this album that was performed on the Zaireeka tour, but it should have been.
Yeah.
Exactly one song from this album made it to tour, and we'll talk about it later, but like, damn.
All right, so next we've got How Will We Know? Futuristic Crescendos.
Crushing our lives and everything that we've said, crushing the existence, any small effects we've had.
This is songs
This
to
is the
annoy
song with the
teens
motherfucker noise in it.
Yeah, it's like the dog sound.
Yeah.
It really made... I was excited to hear it, because I was, like, genuinely convinced that I'd lost all my high frequencies ages ago, but this confirmed to me that I am still young, and that I was absolutely suffering listening to this on my walk.
Yeah. Like
I was visibly cringing.
With headphones on, your teeth start hurting by the end of it.
Yeah.
Like, I use a pair of, like mid-range quality Bluetooth headphones that have like the really, really in the ear style. So like the rubbery end, and then you like really cram it in there. So this was coming very close to my eardrum. David, thankfully, does have access to a version without that mixed in, so you guys will not be hearing it, because we love our audience. We don't hate them like Wayne Coyne does.
Yeah. Wayne added this to the song, and here's the thing, I'm choosing to say that all the bad decisions were Wayne's and all the good decisions are everybody else's. CD number 2 is the song without all the hell sounds. CD number 1 is frequencies between 20 hertz and 14 kilohertz. CD number 3 is between 10 hertz and 14 kilohertz. CD number 4 is between 7 hertz and 10 kilohertz. There are multiple warnings in the on the album cover and inside the liner notes being like, hey, please don't let your baby listen to this. Please don't listen to this while driving. And it's based on it's based on an urban myth about listening to high frequencies at high volume for extended periods of time. Though their hearing was temporarily impaired, participants of a study reported feeling as if they could predict the future. No.
Dude, it's fucking iDoser.
Oh my god, they made iDoser.
They invented iDoser.
I can't believe, Wayne Coyne would have been really into iDoser because the person I know who was really into iDoser was really into the Flaming Lips.
Yeah, I'm remembering this
David
now.
also knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly. And the first time I was listening to this, I very much was driving, so...
Fuck, shit. God damn it.
Yeah.
I can't believe David's fucking dead.
I'm dead now, but it's fine.
Did you know that iDoser is on Spotify?
It is? Oh my god.
You can download and listen to iDoser.
Oh no, I did know this because kids on TikTok found it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And they're, the kids on TikTok are also getting into those fucking, that one fucking Russian guy who made a bunch of numbers for affirmations that you can use to, bring money into your life, who was, I think, literally executed by the Soviet state for being a scam artist.
Matthew Lesko?
Not... I'm gonna look him up. I'm gonna try to actually find his name.
Dude, I can't believe Matthew Lesko is also dead.
Matthew Lesko.
They're called Grabavoid numbers.
Oh.
Anyway, so iDoser is the exact kind of scam that kids on TikTok would peddle and get into.
Here's the thing, I love the idea that Matthew Lesko was executed by the Soviet state.
Yeah, no, we're calling that canon now. So you discovered that by listening to this while driving.
That's
so not only is Matthew Lesko going to be executed by the Soviet state, the Soviet state is also coming back. Folks, we said communism was gonna win, and we were fucking right.
They're back.
They're back. A dinosaur story.
Fuck. This song could have been on the Soft Bulletin too. It's one of the. It's very
for sure.
Yeah, they did play this live once without the frequencies,
which is good.
Can you imagine though?
The only people who are actively trying to damage their audience's hearing are My Bloody Valentine and Fuck Buttons.
Yeah.
I do love the idea, though, of Wayne Coyne just pumping out, high-frequency sounds to an entire crowd of people who are gone off their fucking minds.
Oh, yeah. They'd love it at the time.
Oh, yeah. It'd be so wonderful to them.
They just do it at the bubble shows. That should filter out some of the worst frequencies.
The thing about the bubble show is, it's probably hot in those things, right?
Oh, yeah. There's no fucking way I would do that unless it was the middle of winter.
Yeah, sure, fine, have a show like that. That's not technically bad, but I'd probably sweat my shit out the whole time, right?
Also, how do you sanitize those bubbles?
I think they have a professional cleaning crew come in between shows.
Sure,
it's gotta be, yeah.
Yeah, well, because COVID doesn't really spread by surface, even though that's like everyone has focused on for cleaning. So as long as you just get the air out of there, it's probably fine.
Yeah.
You got to ventilate those things afterwards.
This is the same thing that they use to set people up to watch the northern lights in the super northern climates.
Wait, is
they
it?
They set them up in bubbles like that.
Fucking rules.
And yeah, it's sick. I really need to go to the Arctic at some point. It just seems sick.
Yeah, just in general, I feel like I should move there.
Yeah, you can start riding around with snow dogs everywhere.
Yeah, like Cuba Gooding Jr.
Just like Cuba Gooding Jr.
Just like Cuba Gooding Jr.
Like Matthew Lesko, who has the Soviet state coming for him.
Yeah, he's currently hiding out in Siberia, but they'll find him.
They'll find him. I think I've said all I can about this one.
Yeah.
I like the lyrics on this one. They're the kind of nonsense lyrics that I like to hear Wayne Coyne say because they're not gross.
Yeah, they're not about, like, dicks or, like, balls.
Crushing the existence of any small effects we've had, or is it some supersonic flux invented in the future blowing up so hard you could hear it before it happens? How will we know?
Exactly.
Sure.
Like, it's
Why
fine.
the fuck not, buddy?
Yeah. It's not like he would be writing 10 years later from the perspective of Gwen Stefani masturbating.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
You know what's that's It Overtakes Me.
Don't like it.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Was she involved in this in any way?
No.
We love it.
And then he submitted it to Gwen Stefani, and of course she said no.
Yeah, you'd think so. The thing is like, Wayne Coyne could easily get someone who would do that. Miley Cyrus probably would have done it if he asked.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But then also, if he wrote a song from the perspective of Miley Cyrus masturbating, then he would be killed. Billy Ray Cyrus would hunt him.
The devil in Wayne
Much to
Coyne
think
ruined his
about.
life.
He would say much to think about.
Oh, man.
All right. So
yeah.
next we've got March of the Rotten Vegetables.
It's got my favorite Steve Droz drum solo of all time.
This one is just cool.
I'm fully on board with
This one really
this.
works with the concept, I think.
Yeah.
I actually, like, I really want to just, I don't really have, like, several things that can play CDs, but I do have a graveyard of old phones with speakers that still work and a lot of bowls.
Yeah?
So
That's
I can
true.
do this, like line cook kitchen style.
Yes.
I'm just going to get a bunch of metal bowls and put my old phones in them. and listen to this one.
This one's cool.
This one I refer to as the mandatory psycho freakout, which I call that because of the album They Mean Us by the Ladies, which has a 12-minute of that at the end.
Is it called that on the Ladies album?
It is called that. It's called Mandatory Psycho Freakout, and it's 12 minutes long.
I love Rob Crow.
Yeah.
Just the best.
Not enough albums have these anymore.
No.
This one is kind of
it's all about the algorithm now.
Yeah, like they just do whatever the algorithm says. Mm-hmm. Whatever's cool, and it's like, well, sometimes it's lo-fi hip-hop, other times it's lo-fi hip-hop.
Do you guys miss art?
Yeah, I do.
I think I kind of miss art.
Yeah.
I miss when people would just do things because they wanted to.
Yeah.
I miss when people would
remember not having to commodify all your interests?
Yeah, I remember...
I say as we're recording a podcast. This podcast doesn't make us money, though, so it's fine.
Smash that like.
Smash that like and subscribe, please.
Ring
We
that
need
bell.
this to live.
Noisepace.xyz, please.
Please, God. We need treats for Looker.
This song is really good. When the kind of drum solo comes in, it jumps from speaker to speaker, and it is a fucking baller.
Yeah, it. I think on the mix down they kind of just like did that rotating stereo pan effect, like where it kind of goes left and then front and then right and then back.
No, that's how it is.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
that's how it is on the mix too. Like the person doing the mix down did a very good job with it then.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to sound, but like imagine it in different ends of the room.
Right.
This is
Well, yeah,
about
because the speakers can only really stereo speakers, two of them can only really approximate the front and back.
yes.
Yeah.
And
Whereas otherwise, it's like literal speakers is quite a different experience. So yeah, that's one of the things I look forward to in my line cook setup that I will make later.
According to Wayne, the song is music for a cartoon about a group of determined vegetables who feel like the place they're growing is no good, so they uproot and head for better soil, encountering hardship and heroism along the way. As they parade through Meatville, they're booed, and then they're attacked by bats, but eventually, before they rot, they find better ground. That sounds like a fucking, American Tail type movie, where there's like a lot of crying animals.
This literally just sounds like, it sounds like you could have just gotten, the Cuphead studio to animate it.
Yeah,
and literally just use some of the vegetables from the vegetable level of Cuphead.
It sounds like there are American Tail had clinically depressed animals in it, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Depressed and Russian.
Yeah, depressed, Russian, and starving. This could be one of those.
We love our Don Bluth films, folks.
We do.
Let's bring Don Bluth out of retirement to make the music video for this in the year 2021.
Yeah, there's a lot of there would be a lot of vegetables crying, weeping.
And then one guy that a specific subset of furries is really, really horny for.
Was that Balto?
Oh no, I just mean Don Bluth villains have a very specific setup.
Did Don Bluth do Balto?
He did do Balto.
Yeah.
Was the Balto villain horny? I can't remember Balto, except for the beginning and the end.
He was pretty horny. He was like a husky who had really sharp teeth, and he was voiced by Jim Cummings, who was doing a really sultry voice.
You know what? I'm getting pretty stiff myself.
Yeah.
March the Rotten Vegetables is good.
It's good.
I'm picking up something good.
Nice.
Yeah, it's the drum solo.
We love a drum solo. Stephen Drozd's just good at what he does.
Yeah, he's just a good artist, and I wish that we could free him from the Flaming Lips. I wish that someone could just tell him he doesn't need to be there anymore.
Yeah, they should have just Tom York should have just adopted him for Atoms for Peace like he did with Flea.
Atoms for Peace really is saving all the artists from worse bands.
Yeah, that's the purpose of it, isn't it?
Yeah, they got Tom York from the bad band Radiohead, that I've done 20 episodes about. They got Flea from the Dick Sock band. They could have gotten Steve Drozd from the Drug Paraphernalia band. And then they got Joey Waronker. I don't know where he's from.
I think he's just a guy they know. He's just a lad from down at the pub.
Honestly, that is all Radiohead side projects, because the new one is basically Tom, Johnny, and some bloke.
I mean, yeah, isn't the other guy in Atoms for Peace just their producer? Isn't it just Nigel Godrich?
It's just a guy.
He's just a guy. He kind of just showed up.
But yeah,
But yeah, no, that would have been pretty cool. That would have been a good addition. And because Joey Waronker is the drummer, right?
I believe so.
So there you go. You could have just got Stephen Drozd's in there.
His Wikipedia page says that he's a session musician who works oftentimes with Beck and REM, and also is in Atoms for Peace and Ultraista.
Oh, I forgot about Ultraista.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so then we got one more.
Yep, it's called The Big Ol' Bug is the New Baby Now.
And I can plainly see that instead of the stuffed animal, the big old bug is the new baby.
This one was cute.
That is a Tumblr 2012 night blogging if I've ever seen it.
Holy shit! Yeah,
It really is.
The big old bug is the new small bean now.
It is the new small bean.
This is a Tom Oatmeal post.
I want to kiss all my cute friends. Ooh, the big old bug. This song was the only one played live.
Really?
On the Zaireeka tour.
Oh my god!
It was
with the speech and everything. Did they just say the speech out loud, or did they play a recording of it?
They played a recording of the speech, and basically it was like a weird, like, solitary version of, like, it was almost a cappella, because there was none of, like, the cool, fun, cute, like, Blue's Clues-ass music. It was just, like, some, like, xylophone and the speech, and then, like, the dogs at the end on all 40.
Yeah.
Wild. And I guess this one was one of the other ones that was released as a B-side for Race for the Prize.
Yes, and
which, like,
standalone.
That's a weird combo.
Yeah, I mean, it's cute. Like, it's a cute story.
Yeah.
It's like...
This is like the emotional inverse of a Godspeed track. like same form, same concept that way. But like a completely different kind of recording. It's not a guy just saying, open the wallet, and the wallet's full of blood. God, we gotta do a Godspeed on here eventually.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to talk about him for very long, though.
Right.
Unless you have someone who knows what they're talking about with music, which we don't, and we rarely have guests that do.
We'd have to break it up into movements again, because otherwise we have 2 tracks to talk about.
Yeah.
So this one is like, I don't know, it's no point to it, just vibes, I think.
Yeah,
that's a perfect way to end an album with like
going
this.
on here.
Yeah. Like, they could have ended it at number 7, but like, this is a sweet little, like, okay, we're gonna, one last ride.
We have 7 tracks, but the big old bug is the new baby now, so they had to talk about it.
Yeah. It's Wayne at what I think is his best, when he's just telling a kind of aimless story about some weird shit that happened to him. Like,
yeah, Wayne was just like, I'm the baby, gotta love me.
I'm the big old bug.
Telling a story about the great outdoor fight.
God.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the ending where the voices just kind of stack on top of each other until it fades into the sound of dogs chasing, because that's how it was recorded. Wayne in the back of a pickup truck and dogs, like a pack of dogs, just chasing the pickup truck.
I like to imagine that wasn't like pre-planned, and the dogs just sensed his vibes and were trying to remove him from the earth. Like, it was just a pack of feral dogs that just attacked.
Some say that he's still being attacked to this day. He can't walk around without dogs just chasing the shit out of him.
He's getting chased by a wild pack of family dogs.
It's
to
like
one of my 4 yards one day.
It's like the same problem that Isaac Brock has, where he can't stop being chased by the hose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. It's a fine ending. It's a fine album.
Yeah.
Listeners, if you think we're being too incoherent, let us know, so we could ignore it and continue being like this.
We got one question on Twitter from a friend of the show, Rose, who did the Sleigh Bells episode with us way back in the day, asking how hard it was for us to get things in sync. And Meys, I think, kind of covered that already, since you were the only one who actually did that. But they also said that they put together a party in high school with friends with the express purpose of listening to it the proper way.
Yeah, I feel like
I feel like that's as much as I like the idea of creating the line cook experience with 4 bowls, I feel like the only way I'd actually like enjoy a listen through of this album is if I had some people around. Which, like, thankfully I am allowed to have people in my house again, thanks to my friends Pfizer and Moderna. They are not my friends, but they have been paid by the government to give me juice.
Yeah,
but
I feel like
it seems like it'd be a pretty reasonably fun party. Although more likely a party would just be, we're just going to watch Fast 5 again because it's a good film and you just have a good time doing it.
Yeah, I feel like if I tried to do a Zaireeka party now, like, the people I know would just be like, what the fuck is this nerd shit? Let's watch, like, Popstar Don't Stop Never Stopping.
I mean, that movie whips, so...
Yeah, it fucking whips. But, like, nobody would want to actually listen to the... like, I would have to explain it, and it would sound like some, like, 4chan Mew guy talking about music, and I would feel really embarrassed, and everybody else would be really embarrassed for me, so...
That's just how we talked about music back in these days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's hard to come to terms with the fact that we were in the same place too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were also judgmental about music.
That is how I
Yeah.
feel about all the newfangled Lemon Demon fans, as aforementioned. Is I just simply remember being cringe, and it is brought back to the fore by the teens these days.
If I had been older than 8 and also known about the Flaming Lips when this came out, I would have been like, oh, fuck yeah, bud.
But instead, all I was doing is, well, this is too early for me to have been playing Pokemon, so I guess I was playing Tetris.
Yeah.
I think I was just playing a lot of like Mortal Kombat at 4 years old.
Yeah, we had Mortal Kombat for a grand total of 1 day before my mom saw us playing it and brought it back to the store.
My stepdad bought me the GTA double pack for the Xbox, and
Fuck
then my
yes.
mom saw what was going on and they got a divorce.
Oh my god.
See, yeah, no, my dad was the one who bought Mortal Kombat. My mom's the one who brought it back. My parents got divorced, and then my dad got us an Xbox with Halo. So
And that basically has defined your entire life since then.
exactly. But yeah,
We love you, Matt Sparks.
exactly. We actually had a Sega Genesis too, so it was the version that had the blood.
Oh
Yeah.
shit. Anyway,
We were not a Super Nintendo family. It's the only Nintendo console I've never actually had.
we had a thing. We had a Super Nintendo, and we had a Genesis just kind of sitting around.
Yeah, I still have a Game Gear to this day.
So do I, actually.
And now Valve is releasing a new Game Gear. They're releasing the Game Gear.
The Gabe Gear.
It literally just looks like a Game Gear.
It does look a lot like a Game Gear. My
About as heavy as one too.
My story about a game that I wasn't supposed to play, but I did anyway, was Wolfenstein 3D when I was 3 years old.
Yeah, but then your parents saw, oh, you're killing Nazis? They're not people, so it's fine.
I was not allowed to have... Well, I was not allowed to have Grand Theft Auto, but I was allowed to have Halo for some reason, which
Because
doesn't
you're
make
killing
sense.
aliens, it's fine.
No, it wasn't that. It was because my stepdad was really into the army and wanted me to become an army man. And he was
Oh.
like, oh, this is how you'll learn.
Well,
I
I
mean,
say one thing about if you could say a negative thing about the earlier Halo games is that they are fairly pro-military.
yeah.
Yeah.
And if you could say one positive things about the later Halo games is that they are fairly less pro-military.
Yeah.
That is the one thing you could say about the newer Halo games that is good and positive.
So before we talk about Halo anymore, let's revisit one thing about Zaireeka, which is, do either of you have like your one favorite track off of this?
March of the Rotten Vegetables.
Riding to work.
I think I was enjoying myself the most listening to that one.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
good time.
I only got like through track 4 on my second listen, and then I fell asleep, and then I woke up in time to do the podcast. And even not having that second listen, it's still the one that stood out the most. So that says a lot about it.
I misunderstood you, and I thought you fell asleep on your walk the first time.
For me, it was probably also Rotten Vegetables, but like besides the lyrics, I did like the sound of Machine in India. Just like how big and lush it sounds. But yeah, I'd say for me, this album is neither a 0 nor a very good album.
Yeah, right. Like if you were to just rate this as an album, it would be like a high 6, mid 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like there's enough good tracks on here that it wouldn't be a pan.
Yeah.
But I don't think it would reach B&M
No.
just
God, no.
like just by its own virtue.
It kind of seems like
It's
like
it's got like
without
2,
the
3
concept.
real good tracks.
Yeah, without the concept and without actually being in the room to properly listen to it, it feels like a very bog standard Flaming Lips album, like without anything super special about it.
Yeah, it's kind of like middling if you really kind of strip away everything.
Which is like that's what makes it really interesting about just how into it Mark Richardson is, because we didn't really get into like his like review of the review, but like his main thing about the album is like it's transient, it's variable, and it's social. And it's like, man, you sure don't really get into the lyrics and how bad they are, or like
Those are fucking buzzwords.
the weird sounds.
Yeah.
It's all buzzwords, but like I do understand like seeing it as like he sees it as like a social experience, something that's variable with the mixes, with the syncing. But then he also says that he individually syncs the players every time a track starts, which seems like it's missing the point a little.
No,
Yeah.
that's what you have to do.
That sucks. I fucking hate that shit.
It says each track should be played using the synchronized starting procedure in the booklet.
Awful. I hate
There's like
it.
a guide.
So is this actually like a thing where on each CD the tracks aren't exactly the same length as each other?
No, they're all exactly the same, well, except maybe like a second apart.
Okay.
Yeah, like I imagine that's just to deal with the fact that different CD players will play the gaps differently.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Even if you have gapless playback, sometimes there's still a skip in there.
Yeah,
Right.
like there's
Like me listening to music on my phone, because the only audio player on my phone since Google Play Music stopped working because the internet of the way that apps are made is stupid.
Yeah.
The only music player on my phone is VLC, which cannot do gapless playback.
That's
Yeah.
so weird that it can't.
I know, right?
Yeah, at the beginning, like this gets cut out of every mixdown, but there is like a voice saying track number 1, and then each CD announces itself, which is how you sync it.
Oh,
up.
interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like this is CD number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. So you have to kind of get it in sync, in like a reasonable like cadence for it to sound right.
Yeah, if
Okay.
you want to hear how that sounds, I'm sure you can look up like a video on YouTube of somebody playing all the records at the same time.
I mean, I did have the. I'm just gonna link this Zaireeka listening party at the Doors pub, because I am probably gonna listen to it later. Now that I know it exists, I just posted it in episode planning. It's literally a free Bandcamp release, and also like it's on Bandcamp, so you can just listen to it there.
Oh fuck yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Nice.
Also, this came out on vinyl in 2016, and I bought it.
Yeah, like you bought it yesterday.
Yeah, I bought it yesterday because I can't stop spending money on dumb shit.
Yeah, I just remember when I was out for this record store day, there was like a group of teens in front of me, and each and every one of them got a copy of Zaireeka. And it's like, dudes, you could have just bought one copy of Zaireeka and then each brought your record player to one of the houses. Come on. I guess you can't do the track syncing with the vinyl, huh?
It sounds
Yeah.
way harder.
That sounds way
And
harder.
also, you have to like either get one of those cheap record players that has the speaker built in, or everyone has to somehow hook up to the same stereo receiver.
or just you have a bunch of speakers. Like ours are just set up to a cheap pair of box speakers.
Yeah.
So if everyone just has a couple of those. But like almost every record player has like a different needle laydown time.
Yeah.
Right.
Even if they're like the same model, like it'll vary.
You can just like drop them at the
it'll
same
like,
time.
and even when the needle drops, it could drop on a completely different spot on all four of the records.
Right.
It is the most useless novelty bullshit.
Yeah. And of course, so you bought it.
So I bought it because I own Zaireeka on CD with no intention of ever playing it on 4 CD players ever again.
Yeah. I mean, the thing with me and owning physical music is like, as much as it seems like I should, I don't care about playing it ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
It's
like,
a thing to have. I like having stuff. I like having the number go up on Discogs.
Same. I own the Microphone's fog tape and have not played it. Like, it's just
I've played it once.
like it's just vibes for vinyl
It's
collection.
just vibes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Although with my house, that means that any records that I have not played are not allowed on the shelf, so they're still in my milk crates.
oh shit. We recently made more space for our records because MG bought a lot of old country records from this place. And
fuck
That's
yeah.
sick. We
Yeah,
we just keep buying IKEA Kallax shelves.
we have a 2x4 Kallax, like 2 high, 4 wide.
Yeah, we have a 2x4 Kallax and a 2x2 Kallax, both in the living room.
I'm trying to
Yep.
get a 2x2 for the living room to put my because right now my record player rests on a Bluetooth table.
Yes, I remember this table.
It is a Victrola brand, which these days means it's garbage.
Yeah.
Ugh. Anyway,
Well,
that's
so
Zaireeka.
that is Zaireeka.
that's the Reikis.
Thank you, Mace, for coming to hear us talk about vaginas and Wayne Coyne for a little bit too long.
I mean, you say a little bit too long, but do you remember how long the Animal Collective episode was?
Where I said
it
ooh
was-
after every song.
where you said ooh after every song. It was 2.5 hours, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we were up in there for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, no, I don't think there was that much to say about this one.
No.
It's just kind of is what it is.
Yeah, it's like, cool concept, Wayne. Sure. Do what you... I could say do what you gotta do, but no one should say that to Wayne Coyne. He does not need to be encouraged.
What he gotta do is not the thing that anybody should be doing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, thank you for having me. It was very nice to be on a podcast. We're working on things.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. Well, plug some shit then.
Oh shit, I forgot to plug. I was ready to be like, okay, see you later. My name is Meys. I play music as Echo Vessel. I have an album called Cartoon coming out later this year. I'm going to tell you the release date right now. Well, the general release date of November.
Nice.
You can see the artwork for it and some songs on my Twitter account, twitter.com/EchoVessel. I'm not on there.
I hear you post feet.
Yes, I post feet. The back cover of my album is feet. It's a picture of my feet. I have a Radiohead podcast called Picking Up Something Good. It's a limited.
It's on this fucking network, baby.
Yeah, it's on the same network. We kind of release episodes. We've given up on the weekly conceit and release episodes whenever we want to these days.
That's how every podcast should be, because we are all have symptoms of mental illness.
Exactly. We need to, Nikki Flowers and I, Nikki Flowers is the co-host, friend of the show, we need to finish the Radiohead season, and then we're going to do something else entirely, which is a lot of fun.
Fuck yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's about a band that I don't know much about, but I know, Matt, that you do.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting.
But yeah, we do have Picking Up Something Good, a limited run prestige podcast about Radiohead, and soon to be about something else. And we do that once a year podcast about Star Wars. And also
you sure
out of
do.
the opening crawl.
Oh yeah, we finally got out of the opening crawl. We saw a planet. We have to do this for another 120 years, which is fucked up. And yeah, I don't do anything else anymore except record music. You'll hear a cartoon later this year, and you'll hear you'll hear a single from it called Tennis for Two very soon.
Nice.
It's going to be good. I'm David. You can find me on Twitter at @Daves with 3 Vs. I host this. I currently don't host any other podcasts. The Stick, I feel like, is going to be on an indefinite hiatus for a while, just because I don't have the mental capacity to do 2 podcasts right now. But also, I make music as Spinning Voices, and on Mace's label Neo Detritus, I just released an EP called Tucson Talk, which is arrangements in synth pop of Swedish folk songs that I learned as a kid.
Fucking sick.
And
Bye, Tucson Talk.
It's probably my favorite thing I've done so far. So yeah, go listen to that at spinningvoices.bandcamp.com.
Buy Tucson Talk. There are still Please No Jutsu tapes available. Please also buy those.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I got some cassettes still.
There are 3
Matt,
Nikki Flowers cassettes left.
Nice. I'm Matt. I don't record music as anything, but I do have a Twitter account where I am Matt GCN, and my picture is a guy with a GameCube for a head, which is drawn by a Game Freak concept artist. And I'm like, can I use this as my icon? And he's like, yes. And I'm like, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, that's me. That's me,
That
baby.
is you.
That's you.
Sometimes I'll do other podcasts. I'll probably record more episodes of the Pokemon one when the new Pokemon games start coming out. Maybe I'll have someone who wants to talk about the Pokemon MOBA that I am absolutely not going to play. But that someone surely will. It just won't be me.
Yeah.
MOBAs are strange and confusing to me, and I do not like them.
I refuse to play a MOBA. I will not play Smite. No, thank you, Xbox Game Pass.
And yeah, so yeah, you can find my Twitter there, and then I also run Noise Space, which functionally just means I troubleshoot everyone's feeds. So there's not really much wrong with them now, but they should at least all get their correct episode artwork again, which has been a consistent problem that I've been having.
Thank fuck.
Yeah.
We love it. And yeah, you can find all of that at noisepace.xyz, and look at the website. I think we made it look pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a nice site, which is what I call websites.
It's like I conceptually just miss websites existing, so it's nice to have one.
Yeah, it's nice to have a site.
Maybe I'll put a forum on it. Who knows?
Oh my god, a PHPBB?
Yeah, absolutely.
Besides the other shows we've mentioned so far, there's other ones like Nana Roy's Nightmare Nera. There's Fear Baiting. What else? There's Kyle XY.
Kyle XY?
There's City Girls Make Do, which is fucking great.
City Girls Make Do, and
which is now County Girls Make Do. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Eventually there will be more episodes of it, but it's just been really busy for both the hosts of that one. And then of course we have the Sonic Shuffle, which is all about Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh god, yes.
Very important. And there's also a new podcast by Dan of the Sonic Shuffle, which is called Video Games the Movie the Podcast, which is every month they watch one video game adaptation and do like a review watch of it.
Hell yes.
Which is a very fun concept. And the first episode was on the Super Mario Brothers movie.
God. It's going to be a real good one.
It's a good one.
Movie fans call them Moovards, so...
Thank you to Animal Style for the use of our theme song Open Air from the album Open Air. You can find all their stuff at nmlstyl.com. And thank you to Nikki Flowers, previously mentioned, for making the cover art for Tuning Fork.
Everyone go buy We Shop Channel 2021 Mix remix on
yes,
Bandcamp.
it slaps.
Everyone buy it. It slaps.
Yes, please fucking do. It's great.
It's so good.
Nikki's a fucking genius, I think.
Absolutely. Also world record holder for score in the Garfield game.
Yeah,
Normal.
for the Atari.
Normal touch.
Normal touch, baby.
Normal touch. As we always say, I had never seen a shooting star before.
I had never seen a shooting star before.
I've never done that shit.
I didn't rig shit. I didn't set up shit. I didn't rig shit.
I'm done. I'll kill
any
you.
shooting stars.